Call to order. The time is now 6 o'clock for the December 8th, 2025 regular meeting for the Board of Education of Oak Park. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark.
Here.
Copeland.
Absent.
Madison.
Here.
Herman Tanks.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Smith. Scott.
Here.
And Tom.
Here.
Here.
Okay, we will now move to item number 2, approval of the agenda. We will move to approve the agenda by unanimous consent if there are no objections to doing so. Are there? Okay, Ms. Greer, please. No, hearing none, the agenda has been approved. We will move to item number 3, approval of consent agenda. We have all seen the agenda. We will move to approve the consent agenda as well if there are no objections to doing so. Are there any objections? Okay, then the consent agenda is approved as well. We'll move to number 4, presentations, starting with the student of the month. You have the floor.
All right. Good evening to the Board of Education, our president and trustees, along with our families and staff who have come out to celebrate our young people. We are excited to lift them up and honor them tonight. Hello, Miss Faith. How are you? Good to see you. We're excited. I know it's a little warm in here. It's a lot of people. So we're going to go ahead and get started with honoring our students of the month, starting with our youngest scholars of Oak Park School District, Lessinger Early Childhood.
Switch the order real quick,
We-
sorry.
You want to switch
Einstein
it?
is gonna start us.
Okay. All right. So we'll start with Einstein. And the principal is Miss Provenzola from Einstein, where they shine. Oh, yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sarah Provenzola. I'm the proud principal at Einstein Elementary School, where we rise by lifting others so that everyone can shine. I didn't say the address. We're at 14001 North Avenue.
That's right.
And I'm going to call, oh, look at, there's one of our lovely teachers, Miss Moore back there. And I'm going to call first Miss Autumn. If you want to come on up. So as part of Capturing Kids' Hearts, every month we honor a different character trait, and in the month of November we were honoring the character trait of teamwork. So Autumn was nominated as one of our students of the month by her teacher for demonstrating teamwork throughout the month of, well, throughout the year, really, and throughout every year that she's been at Einstein with us. Here you go. Yeah. And Autumn is an excellent example of what it means to be a team player. During group work, Autumn always listens to others, encourages the other students in class to share their opinions, and collaborates well with others, all while building excellent relationships. In addition, Autumn promotes collaboration in every group she is a part of and enjoys the opportunity to work in a group by welcoming and supporting her classmates with open arms. Autumn loves working with new people and building new friendships through the process. I am so proud of Autumn for being an amazing team player, and I'm so glad that Autumn is part of our Einstein family. Thank you, Autumn, for being amazing! And now we're going to come up and take a picture. You can come up and take a picture, too. Yes, aboard. You can come up.
You take right here, right in front.
Right here. Get right there. You get in there with me.
I'm going to be over here. You want to come here and get the picture?
Okay.
Come on. Do you want a picture on your phone?
No, she can sit.
Okay.
Come on.
Turn around.
1, 2. You ready? You looking? Hold it up so I can see it. Great, got it. Thank you.
All right, and our next student of the month is Miss Natalie Quarles, and I know she's, oh, here she is. She ran up to me when she got the invite. Miss Provenzola, I'm student of the month. I know. And she crochets, so she showed me what she crocheted that day. She's amazing, actually. Really great crochet. Natalie is one of our 5th graders at Einstein, and Natalie is a force to be reckoned with. Although seemingly small in stature, Natalie's voice, assertiveness, and heart are larger than life. Natalie is a natural-born leader, and with all of that, she helps others frequently. She has helped fellow classmates with their classwork. She assists friends in need. She exhibits solid teamwork overall in the classroom and in our school. Aside from fellow students, Natalie displays her teamwork skills with her teacher in Mr. Jeffrey's class. This year, Natalie was deemed the first lead librarian in her classroom. She organized and cared for his books, and she devised an efficient labeling system, and now all of the students help support the classroom library using her system that she used to organize their classroom library. Natalie, thank you for being a wonderful leader in our school and in your classroom.
Can we get her family to come?
And we're going to get a picture.
Okay, come on, everybody.
Lord and Mary.
Want me to put this down? You want to hold it? Yep.
So awesome.
Turn it down. I need them to be up front.
Count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, next we are going to call up our, now our youngest ones in Oak Park School District and Lessinger. Who's here for Lessinger?
I am. Okay, Lessinger is my baby. It's founding principal. So happy to get the opportunity to come this evening. There was a little bit of a delay with the principal, Ms. Berry, so therefore I will be presenting, and I'm going to call up one of our esteemed teachers, one of our founding teachers, has our heart, everybody's heart, Ms. Deere. She will present the 2 Lessinger Rebels. Rebels, resilient, empowered, brilliant, ethical, loving, and self-assured. So come up and present our Lessinger Rebels, please.
All right, so tonight I am very proud to recognize Nova Yates for Student of the Month. Nova, coming up here. All right, so Nova is a sweet and caring student who brightens our classroom every single day. She works hard and she always puts forth her best effort and tackles new challenges with enthusiasm and a positive attitude. In addition to her academic growth, Nova is a wonderful friend. She is kind and supportive and always willing to help other friends. Her classmates look up to her and she truly models what it means to be a Lessinger Rebel. We are very proud of you and we are so grateful to have her as part of our Young Pies family. Congratulations, Nova.
Nova family.
Come on.
I also had Bryson when he was in kindergarten, just a few years ago.
Okay.
Come on. I am also very excited to recognize Lorenzo. Lorenzo, come on up. Lorenzo brings so much joy and energy to our classroom. He is truly the sweetest. He's got the best smile, and his enthusiasm is very, truly contagious. He works hard every day as well, and he's always eager to learn more, learn new things. He encourages his friends, he celebrates their successes, and he shows kindness in the way that he treats others. So, his positive spirit and supportive nature really help our classroom environment feel like a place where everyone is welcomed and valued. And we are incredibly proud of Lorenzo and all of the growth that he has shown already this year. So congratulations.
Take a picture. No, you're not in my way. Got it. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to introduce my colleague. We are shaking it up today, so we usually go in order all the time. But this time, we want to give some other schools an opportunity to go at the beginning. So we are going to call up Nova Academy Principal Mario Evans. Please come on up.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gotcha.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak in front of you to celebrate my awesome students. These students have demonstrated the characters and the values of a Nova student, and their identity is coming through, and we want to recognize that tonight. The first student I want to recognize is Orion Curry. Yes. He has a quiet determination and steady work ethic to make powerful impact at Nova Academy. Orion is what we call a quiet storm. He may not seek attention, yet his focus, maturity, and consistency speaks loudly. He takes his classwork seriously and consistently demonstrates responsibility and discipline. His intentional approach to learning shows a young man preparing himself with purpose for the future. One of Orion's most impressive accomplishments is his proactive way he has approach to college planning. He has already applied for more than 6 colleges. Teachers describe Orion as a respectful, focused, and self-directed young man. He listens, he learns, he follows well, he sets goals, and he takes steps to achieve them, modeling persistence and drive with his peers. Tonight we honor Orion not only for his academic success, but his character, discipline, and unwavering effort. He represents the best of what it means to be a Nova Knight. Please join me in celebrating Orion.
I get one of my own phone? Yeah. Okay. I don't know how to work the phone though.
Okay, your mom's phone. Oh, that was cute.
For my next student, Ms. Kariah Asbury. Man. She is new to Nova this year, but Kariah consistently produces high-quality work and approach every assignment with thoughtfulness and care. Whether working independently or contributing to group discussion, she brings insight, focus, and genuine commitment to learning. Her active participation strengthens the classroom community and encourages her peers. What truly sets Kariah apart is her attitude. She enters each day with a positive attitude, readiness, and determined mindset. She listens deeply, reflects on the feedback, and applies suggestions quickly, showing self-awareness, maturity beyond her years. Her openness to growth has made powerful impact on our academic progress at Nova. Kariah embodies the core values of our school through her kindness and her dedication to excellence and her accountability. She sets an example of what it means also to be a Nova Knight. Thank you. Good job.
1, 2, 3.
Congratulations.
Next up, I'm going to introduce Dr. Renita Williams, Oak Park High School.
We are deliberately going out of order today because the feedback we got last year was that the older kids had a scanter crowd when it came to them. So I want them to feel that they have just as much.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Dr. Williams. I'm the principal at Oak Park High School, home of the Knights, and I am so happy and proud to present to you all our Scholar of the Month for December. I'm going to start with Aaliyah Gutledge. Aaliyah was nominated by her teacher, Miss White, and Miss White describes that Aaliyah is a very positive young lady. She has a beautiful spirit, and she's kind to everyone. Something great about Aaliyah, something else great about Aaliyah is that she has consecutively earned a 4.0 since being at Oak Park High School. She is a hard worker, and she gives 100% effort in whatever she does. She has demonstrated academic excellence in her performance, character, behavior, effort, social responsibility, and attendance. Aaliyah loves to spend time with her family, especially attending church with her grandmother. It is with great pleasure that the Oak Park High School administration recognizes and presents our sophomore scholar, Aaliyah Gutledge, as one of our recipients for Scholar of the Month for December.
Aaliyah's family?
This is for you. You're welcome. And my next Scholar of the Month is my 9th grade freshman scholar, Ann Gellett. I don't see Ann here, but Ann was nominated by her history teacher, Mr. Orlando, and Mr. Orlando shared that Ann is a very hardworking young lady, and she continuously strives for the absolute best. She is a student who learns from her mistakes and her successes through hard work and determination. Mr. Orlando shares that Ann is also a great help in the classroom, and she's always willing to lend a helping hand to other classmates, whether it's a pencil or ink pen or with the assignment. She has had a great academic transition into high school from middle school. On her last progress report, she has earned 4 A's and 2 A minuses. Her math, ESL, and health teacher states that Ann is a pleasure to have in class. And Ann has also demonstrated academic excellence in her performance, character development, behavior, effort, social responsibility, and attendance. And it is with great pleasure, even in her absence, that we recognize and present our freshman night, Ann Gellett, as one of our recipients for Scholar of the Month for December. And now I would like to introduce Miss Taylor from Oak Park Preparatory Academy.
Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here. It's my honor. I am Yvonne Taylor. I'm representing Oak Park Preparatory Academy. I'm one of the assistant principals there, but as always, I'm representing our proud principal, Douglas Island. So I'm here to represent for our Students of the Month. We have 2 this month, and I'm going to start with Romel Reed. So as Romel comes up, I'm going to tell him couple of little things about Romel. We are proud to recognize Romel as December 2025 Student of the Month. Romel is a model scholar whose consistent hard work and high academic achievement set him apart. He is deeply inquisitive and always eager to learn, often seeking out more challenging opportunities to push himself even further. Romel is a strong yet quiet leader, someone who leads by example through discipline, respect, and maturity. He is constantly courteous, this is true, to his classmates, thoughtfully allowing others a chance to participate in class discussions before offering his own insightful contributions. His obedience and his commitment to excellence make him a standout member of our school community. Congratulations, Romel, to a well-deserved honor.
Romel's family?
Yes. Which one do you want? You want to hold that one? You want to hold that one? You got the baby, so I'll hold it. Ready? Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And you do have some video here. That's going to be a bag. Romel, let me get us together. This is the goodie bag, the side. He also has a certificate. We should have brought that out to take the picture, but that's a certificate.
Oh.
And a nice t-shirt that says Student of the Month.
Who's on top open next month?
Next up, and just so you know, the bag, I'll show you, so that we have our Student of the Month t-shirt. There it is, t-shirt. And we have next up, we have Lavea Durant. So just a few words about Lavea. This month, December 2025, we are proud to recognize Lavea Durant as our 7th grade Student of the Month. Lavea is an exceptionally smart, hardworking, and inquisitive student whose curiosity drives her to consistently excel in all academic areas. Her teachers describe her as a strong, vocal leader who approaches challenges with confidence and is always willing to help her peers. Although this is her first year at Oak Park Preparatory Academy, Lavea has fit right in and quickly made a positive impact in our school community. Her dedication, leadership, and commitment to excellence makes her a shining example of what it means to be an OPA scholar. Congratulations, Lavea. She has a twin, Lavea. Yeah. Twin, no double. Okay, Mom, want to hold that one? Oh, wait, this time we're going to get the certificate in here because I think Mr. Island would get me if I don't. Can you hold that one? Thank you. Congratulations. All right. Thank you. And next up, we have Principal Damila Prince, representing Key Elementary.
I would be remiss not to point out 3
Six elements, less than the rebels. I like that.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Damila Prince, the proud principal of Key Elementary, the home of the Falcons. And so I am so excited to celebrate and honor 2 of our students this evening as our Students of the Month. And so the wonderful teachers have joined us this evening. And so first I am going to call up Miss Laura Keel, and she is going to talk about her wonderful student, Miss Faith Terrell.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Couldn't wait to get here, so I'm gonna talk about this one right here.
Faith Terrell is a dream of a student. She follows the classroom contract to the letter and is a Capturing Kids' Hearts ambassador in room 127. Her behavior is stellar. Sometimes I forget she's even there. She's busy, working, focused, and I wonder sometimes what she is doing when she's sitting over there being so absolutely quiet. I found out at the end of the day, at dismissal, she's a totally different child. All of a sudden, she comes alive. She hasn't said a word to me all day. We get to dismissal, and she's standing there looking up at me, and she talks to me for 15 minutes. Don't hear her voice all day, but I get all of her at the end of the day. She's an attentive and focused student during instruction and completes her assignments. She is a shining example for Student of the Month. I would also like to mention she is one of those kind of antisocial. You know, she doesn't fool with everybody. But now I'm starting to see her making connections with her classmates, because I asked her in the beginning of the year, I said, so, you know, anybody you like, anybody you want to hang with? She's like, But now I noticed that she's made some friends, she's making some connections, and she's seeking girlfriends, besties. So I like to see that, where she's now made connections in the classroom with her fellow classmates. So she is an awesome, awesome, awesome addition to my class, and I'm glad that I got her.
Family, you guys can come up, Mom. And this is her twin, Hope. Yeah, Faith and Hope. Mom. She's like, come on. Come on. Yes, come on. I got you. Yes. Just smile. Just smile.
Okay. Ready? Yep, ready. Yep.
And next I'm going to bring up Ms. Ford, our third grade teacher, and she's going to talk about Mr. Adonis Rogers.
Good evening, everyone. Adonis is not here with us, but I'll just share this real briefly. Adonis is a wonderful third grade student. He has consistently demonstrated the key Falcons core value. He brings a positive attitude to the classroom each day and encourages others with his friendly words and action. Adonis works cooperatively with classmates during group activities, listens respectfully, and shows responsibility for his learning. His kindness, teamwork, and willingness to help make him a strong role model for his peers. And I would actually like to add that he is the amazing big brother to a kindergarten little brother. And I told his parents, I said he does an amazing job of just making sure he gets to the car safely. But he's not here with us tonight, so we'll make sure we celebrate him this evening.
Thank you so much. And next I'm going to bring up Mr. Haley, the principal at Pepper Elementary.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. You've heard from the rest. Somebody has to be the headliner of the show. Those are all the preliminaries. This is the main event. The Dr. James N. Pepper Elementary School. Yes, the flagship elementary school district. That's why we're laughing. Yeah. So, in all seriousness, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here tonight. I am going to call up one of my phenomenal second grade teachers who will do her presentations, Miss Emily Roble.
Good evening. Good evening. So my first student of the month is King Rembert. He is a joy to have in the classroom. Just model student all across the board. Math is where he shines. He's always an early finisher, and then he's always willing to help others. And he doesn't just give them the answers, he'll like guide them through it, encourage them. And I am especially proud of King in reading, because reading takes him a little bit more think time. But he never gives up. He always asks for help. He'll try again. If it's not there, then he'll try again. And last week, he wrote a 5-sentence paragraph. And when I think of King, the word I think of is a leader. And I know he hears me say that every day, because even when other kids are goofing off, maybe making some poor choices, King always stays true to his values. He's not a follower, he's a leader. He models good behavior, even helps his friends get back in check. So I'm just so proud of him in every aspect.
And King, like,
This is yours, you hold that. Put that in your pocket. You remember? Well, I give it to you. That's all.
every time that was like, right, yeah, that's King. I was calling, can I get a word? I said, this is my
Yeah, I get the back. I get the back. Yep. Here we go. There we go. Yeah.
Yay, thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, come on, girl, yes. Congrats, King. You love it, baby.
And then my second student of the month, I see her. It is Mariah Murphy. And I also want to give a shout out to her sister. I had her older sister last year, Marissa, was also a great student. But Mariah is another one of my helpers. She is my trustworthy, reliable student. I can always count on her to help out, go check on something, go fill something up. Just like King, she's incredibly hardworking. When I asked for a 5-sentence paragraph, she wrote, I think, 8 or 9 sentences. So she always goes the extra mile. If we do math, if I say do the front page, she'll do both pages and then come up for challenge problems. She always participates. She's helpful to her classmates. She gets along well with all the other students, and I've definitely seen her open up socially, academically. She's participating more than ever. So I'm very proud of Mariah, and I hope she's proud of herself.
Come on. Dad, come on. Y'all coming up a picture. Siblings, they coming up? Siblings? Oh, they want. Did you ready? All right. Thank you.
Okay, so at this time, we're going to take a brief intermission. Everyone can go ahead and leave if they would like. If you would like to stay, you can do that as well. We're going to resume at 6:40. Thank you. Yep, sorry. I didn't even know you turned it off. No. Is it? Okay. We are now at item 5. Do I have a motion to enter closed session?
I'll make the motion. Be it therefore resolved that as permitted under the Michigan Open Meetings Act, Section 8A, the Oak Park Board shall enter into closed session for the purpose of attorney-client privilege.
Second.
All right, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Herman Kanks,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Scott, Tyler.
Yes.
All right, we are now in closed session. We're now on item 5C, personnel action report. Do I have a motion?
You want
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education hereby approves the personnel action report as presented, including the following categories: new hires, change of status, resignations, and terminations.
Second.
All right, Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Second?
Ms. Clark?
I
Trustee
thought
Clark.
you read it.
No.
I read it.
You read it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll repeat it next time.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Herman Tanks,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
and Madison.
Yes. Okay, the personnel action report has been approved. We will move to 5D, OPA staff and student furniture purchase. Anyone want to make a motion? All right, Trustee Clark.
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approves the purchase of student and staff furniture for OPA from HPS not to exceed $299,834 using available bond funds. The new furniture will replace outdated and deteriorating pieces, ensuring a safe and productive environment for students and staff.
Second. Motion. Yeah, motion made by Trustee Clark, seconded by Trustee Madison. Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Madison,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Herman Tank,
Yes.
and Clark.
Yes.
All right, that is approved. Now we will move to item 5E, appointment of director and alternate director to the MAISL Joint Management Trust. Anyone would like to read the motion?
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education appoint Andrea Farr as director and Pat Greer as alternate director to the MAISL Joint Management Trust.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Perriman Tank, seconded by Trustee Tyler. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Tyler,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Herman Tank,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
and Clark.
Yes.
All right, that is passed. We will move to item 5F, approval of Oakland County School Boards Association, OCSBA, proposed bylaws amendments. Go ahead, Trustee Clark.
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education hereby approves the proposed new and/or amended resolutions and bylaws to the Oakland County School Boards Association, OCSBA bylaws as incorporated by reference in this meeting.
Okay, any second?
Second.
Trustee Clark made the motion, Trustee Perriman Tank seconded. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Scott,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Herman Tanks,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
and Clark.
Yes. President Madison,
Yes.
I would like to amend the agenda and add an action item 5G, if possible. I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to consider a censorship of trustee Dawn Corcoran.
Second.
I
Trustee.
didn't get that. Can you repeat that?
Yes, I would like to, I'll read the full motion, but the intention is to amend the agenda to consider the censor of trustee Dawn Corcoran.
All right. Second.
I'll read the, I wanted to amend the agenda and then
Okay.
read the motion. By the will of the board, be it resolved that trustee Dawn Corcoran is hereby censored on today, December 8th, 2025, consistent with the draft resolution provided by Attorney Adam Blakelock.
Okay.
Second.
All right.
Second.
Made by Trustee Clark and seconded by Trustee Perriman Tanks. No discussion on the board? Okay, Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Clark,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Herman Tanks,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and Tyler. Abstain.
All right, we'll move to item number 6, presentation of the 2025 audit results, report by John Ringling,
Ringline.
sorry, Manor
It's a funky spelling.
Consortium.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for having me. Yep, as mentioned, my name is John Ringline, Senior Manager with Manicus Garrison. It's our first year doing the audit of Oak Park Schools. I do have with you all in the board packet a packet of the slides, as well as a bound copy of the audit report itself. What we'll mainly do is do this high-level view within the slides, but there are a couple areas where I'll refer to the report itself and what we're summarizing within. And then we can follow up on the screen as well. So the slides in front of you are going to be in line with these slides here. So first couple slides are just about our firm. We're based in the Lansing area. We actually did just expand as of 1/1 to a larger footprint in Grand Rapids as well. So definitely growing from when I started, of about 75 folks to about 200, which is in about a 10-year span, which is pretty cool. Quite a few experts in our field. We do perform over 100, it's actually 130 now, Michigan School District audits annually. We also do serve over 200 Michigan governmental clients as well, all across the state of Michigan. The audit results in the financial statement is the first slide, so this is kind of where I'll spend the most time. We have the financial statement audit itself, and we also have the uniform guidance single audit. In past years, those have been combined and submitted together. However, with uncertainty in the federal government and with some delays, typically we get our compliance supplement that we use to do the uniform guidance single audit in May, for context. That was just finalized in November 2020, or 25th, and then that caused potential delays in MDE submissions on November 1st. However, with the new state budget that was also an uncertainty, they had added a line that stated, you know what, we can submit the financial statement audit and then separately submit the uniform guidance single audit once that compliance supplement has been submitted, but it just has to be within 30 days. And we did receive the rep letter today regarding that uniform guidance single audit, so we'll get the data collection form and everything together to be able to submit that to MDE and submit that to the federal government. So those are the two reports that we have. Again, not typical, but just a unique year, with a lot of the delays from the federal government. So the financial statements audit is the first part, so that's going to be that first bullet point. So we did, on our opinion, provide an unmodified opinion. And really, this is the highest opinion that we can provide. There's two other levels. You could have a modified opinion, where we're saying all the numbers within your financial statements are correct except for certain items, or we could just disqualify the opinion altogether and just say that, or really disclaim and say that we cannot provide an opinion. So this is the best opinion we can provide, which means your numbers are fair and free of any material misstatement that we're aware of. The second part of our audit is the internal control audit. So we don't actually do or perform an opinion on controls, but we do have to gain an understanding of the district's controls. So there's material weaknesses, there's significant deficiencies, and then there's also what could be just another deficiency on the federal side, something that violates compliance with the federal award. So we did note this year no material weaknesses, which I believe last year there was one for material journal entries, and I think there was a federal award material weakness. We did identify a significant deficiency for the budget, and when we get to the budget to actual page, I can explain more why that was considered a deficiency. But for these purposes, I'll go on to the next part here. So the second column is your compliance for major programs. So we did have an audit, again, of your federal awards. So if you exceed $750,000 in federal awards, we are required to do what's called a single audit. And due to the material weaknesses last year, the district was high risk. We had to cover at least 40% of total federal awards. So this year we tested the child nutrition cluster and the Title I program. And we're happy to report we did not have any findings associated with either of those two programs, and so nothing to report there, so no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. And then with the final report that we'll submit, we'll also have a governance letter that gets provided to the board. and we're happy to report their standard language only. So this is just our requirement at the very end of the audit to just state, if we had any difficulties, if we had any disagreements with management, if there were any other findings that maybe didn't fit into the federal awards or the financial statement side, we would put that in there, and happy to report there's nothing that we have to further report upon. We'll delve into the numbers. I'm not going to spend a ton of time here. This is mainly just your assets, liabilities, and fund balance of the district. So we're required to show major funds on the face of the financial statements. General fund's always a major fund, and then your capital project funds, the 23 actually fell below 10% of total assets, liabilities, revenue, or expenditures. So it wouldn't normally be a major fund. However, typically we recommend that your bond funds, your voted upon, voter approved bond funds are just on the face of the financials for full transparency. So that project actually did close, that first series for 2023, and so that is why it has zero fund balance with a pending transfer that's likely already been cleared to the 2025 capital project fund. That third column is the 2025 capital project fund that was opened this year. So we received all the proceeds for that bond, and so those are sitting in the assets, the investments in that, and then any liabilities were associated with any construction that occurred pretty much near the end of the year. So the fund balance of the 2025 capital project fund, about $16.7 million. And then the second to last column is your non-major governmental funds. So that's going to be your food service fund, your student activity fund, your sinking fund, anything that fell below that 10% threshold that required us to put it on the face of the financial statements. And so that has about $3.1 million. So overall fund balance across the whole district is $31.2 million, but the general fund has $11.4. Now the next slide we'll see how we got there. So a lot more going on this slide, a lot busier, of course. But this is more or less your income statement for the district. So on the general fund side, we had revenues of $56.3 million compared to expenditures of $59.4, which means expenditures in excess of revenues of about $3.1 million. There was some other financing sources that came in from a transfer of indirect costs from the food service fund of $26,000. So that rounds us out to a decrease in fund balance of $3,037,189. And then there was a child nutrition administrative review that was performed by MDE this year. And they had identified funds from previous years, so prior to FY25, that needed to be moved from the general fund into the food service fund. And so because it was for previous years, it's actually a restatement of the fund balance from last year, so an adjustment to last year's balances. So that's why there's these additional rows here. So we have beginning of year as previously presented, which is basically your fund balance as you saw it on last year's financial statements, and then reducing that by $166,000 gets you your newly stated fund balance for the district at the beginning of the year. And then that decrease of the $3,037,000 gets us to our end of the year fund balance of $11,446,518. And so what does that mean, right? Is that good? Is that bad? Is it an okay fund balance to have? Well, we like to look at a few metrics for that. So the fund balance as a percentage of expenditures for FY25 was 19.26%. So really what that means is taking that 11.4 and dividing it by the expenditures on that second line in the first column of $59.4 million, and that's 19.26. So again, what does that mean? Is that okay? MSBO, Michigan School Business Officials, actually recommends anywhere between 15 to 20%. And that was largely due to the COVID funds coming in a few years back. It used to be 10 to 15, but with the ability to supplant COVID funding, fund balances across the state have been increasing, largely due to that. And last year, you were at 23.82. Well, last year was the last year of the ESSER 3 funding, so that was the majority. ESSER 1 was kind of small, ESSER 2 was even bigger, and then ESSER 3 was even bigger than that. And that ended this year on 9/30/24, so you only had 3 months left of whatever was remaining for the ESSER 3 funds. So effectively, you didn't have any ESSER funding this year, for the most part. And so that's why you saw a slight dip compared to last year. So if you compare, the only data we have on hand for the state is 23-24 data. Statewide average was 24.7. Your district was 23.82. we would largely expect most schools in the statewide average to actually decrease again this year in FY25 once that information comes out. So I think you're largely in line with the rest of the districts in the state. And then again, capital project funds, we had that other financing sources right in the middle, 22.9 million. That was your bond fund and the related premium on that bond that came in the door. And then total spending for the two capital project funds, about 8.4 million and 6.6. And I should have had this, but this is all the summarized information on page 18 of your bond financial statements as well. So the budgetary comparison schedule is the next section. So this one, if we were to flip past all the notes, is on page 51 of the audit. And this is where that significant deficiency is going to play. So per the state of Michigan, you cannot spend even $1 more than you budget for the year. Thankfully, Oak Park didn't have that issue. If you see the second line, expenditures, you budgeted to spend $60.5 million and came in at 59.5, right? So you were a positive. You spent less than budgeted by approximately $1 million. So that's great. So you checked off that part of the test. Second part of that test is, from what you told on your transparency site, MDE and the general public, of where you would be at the end of the year, you had budgeted for a net change in fund balance of about a decrease of 2.1 million, but the actual change was a decrease of 3 million. So because of that, likely MDE will red flag this and trigger kind of just a question and answer from finance to say, hey, what might have caused this variance, because it looks like something went awry. Well, what went awry is that very top line. So the final budget had a revenue coming in, so money's coming in, and recognized of 58.8 million, but the actual revenue was 56.3. And a lot of that probably has to do with some of the assumptions about ESSER, some of the deferrals of state funding. So typically you get all state aid up front, but you defer components of that, which doesn't recognize it in this year, but saves it for future years. And then some potential miscellaneous revenue timing issues at the end of the year as well. So a lot of things, a lot of factors can go into that. So realistically, if your budgeted final revenue number was much closer to actual, that bottom line change would have been a positive variance, and that's really what the state wants to see. So if you look at it as a percentage of total expenditures, we usually see districts are anywhere from 1% to 2% variance. So expenditures was great. Net change in fund balance was within that 2%, just we wanted to see it positive by some component. And then revenues, that's obviously where the issue arises. That was a 4% variance, so seeing that much closer would be the recommendation. And how do you know what's going to come in the door, right? Like, how do you really know where everything's going to land? Part of that could be just, you know, it has to be done before the end of the year, the final amendment, but maybe getting that closer to that 6/30 mark will get you a better idea of maybe where things are going to land within those next 2 months after year end. Next couple slides are just breaking down your numbers. Big takeaway here is over 2/3 of the revenue comes from the state of Michigan. And baked into that state number is the fact that per pupil allowance of $96.08 did not change from FY24 to FY25. However, we did see that number go to $10,050 per pupil going into FY26. I was going to mention federal on the previous slide, but it really didn't matter in the scheme of this year. But if you see your revenue slightly over 60 million in 2023, right at 60 million in 2024, and a little above the 55 million mark this year, what's the main thing driving that decrease in revenue? It's the federal component. So if you look at that orange band, that's pretty thick on 2023, so that's that ESSER 2 is finishing, ESSER 3 is starting, 2024 ESSER 3 is finishing, and then 2025 we just see that little remnants of ESSER 3 and then your normal federal expenditures. So I'd largely see, or would expect to see, expenditures pretty much remain consistent from 2025 on. And then the expenditure, well, that was revenue, but revenue and expenditure largely are pretty similar. Expenditures for the general fund, the takeaway here is that you want to see your expenditures for instruction, so that's going to be your basic programs and your compensatory ed items. to be at least above 50%. You know, and state, we usually see it somewhere between 45 to 55, up to 60. So state average was about 57.6. You're right at 52.7. No concern there. Last 3 years, comparing expenditures, you're seeing that you're right in that, 55-45 breakdown on instruction and support. Last couple of years, you had some other spending likely associated with capital projects in 23 and 24, and then a small amount for community spending as well that's carved out. And that one's been consistent for the last 3 years. And then the fund balance in the general fund. So we had talked on that first slide already about that percentage of fund balance for 25 and the percent for 24. And then for 23, you were pretty much in line with 24. So you're still, you're a little lesser in total percentage of expenditures than you were the last, over the last 3 years. But it's still above that 15% mark and very close to the 20% mark on the high end. So obviously it's important to have good fund balance, but you don't want to go the other way and maybe have too much either. I mean, you do want the money to go back into the district and go right towards the students, which is why we're all here. But on the next slide, I'll explain why it is good to have that fund balance above the 15% mark. So it's recommended 15 to 20%. You get better credit ratings on debt. You don't have any need for short-term cash borrowing. There's a lot of districts that have to take out significant state aid notes and then pay those over the course of the entire year and pay interest on those. There's also reserves that you can have on hand for any macroeconomic uncertainties, pandemics, right? I mean, because we had fund balance in districts, we were able to ride that out and get through it together. A couple items to note. So GASB, the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, comes out with a bunch of fun things for us to work through throughout the years. So the last couple years was leases was a big one. SBITAs with it was 87 and 96. 100 was last year. And so they basically want to highlight if there's any accounting changes or error corrections. And so that 166,000 we talked about that MDE identified, that's outlined in Note 4. So we just have to put a spotlight on that. And then there's also a small, it looks big, but it's small because it's only the government-wide side, change in the method of amortization of the bond premium. So we had changed the premium total by $254,000. Their thought was to accelerate the amortization, and our method typically is that it's straight line. Both are alignment with GAAP, it's just our firm preference there. So that was our recommendation. Again, doesn't do anything to your fund level financial statements there. And then new this year was GASB 101, which was for compensated absences. So in the past, compensated absences was 6/30, everyone has a balance. On 7/1, what would we pay out if everyone left, right? That's just how it used to be. So now, they wanted you to dig a little deeper and say, okay, if someone left tomorrow, but they didn't meet the 10-year threshold to get their retirement, let's say, they would be zero as a liability. But the thought is, well, maybe they'd be something because they had a likelihood of getting there. So we had to take into account the likelihood that when someone would make it to the ability to earn money at retirement. And then there was also the component of, well, what about what they use before they retire? So if someone, say, earns $300 a day on their normal salary, but they only get $50 a day at retirement, that's a pretty big difference of $250 on what they might use before they retire to what they do at retirement. So that's why we saw it across the board. Most districts had an increase in compensated absences, largely because of the teachers, because that seems to be where the disparity is in what you get paid during your tenure and at the end of your tenure. So for this district, you had an increase in compensated absences balance and a corresponding decrease in the net position of the district of $233,000 associated with that. Largely would expect that to be, that's our new baseline, so I wouldn't expect major changes going forward. Next year, we get to look forward to GASB 103 and 104. 103 is going to have some changes to your MD&A and some changes to your budget to actual page, and we'll work with the finance team to determine what that actually looks like. And then GASB 104, just a little bit of extra verbiage associated with GASB 87 and 96 that we just had from a few years ago. Don't really expect any major changes for your district. So I just want to thank you for having me here. So that's the end of my
Thank you.
presentation. And I want to thank Andrea and Janelle here, and we got a whole other crew of finance folks and Tiffany that helped make this audit happen, so thank you so much. Any questions for me at all?
Go ahead. Question, go ahead.
Thank you for the audit, thank you so much. Of course. Well put together, including the other book that we have. I heard you say earlier in your presentation, it's better for us to do our amendment earlier.
Or so closer to 6:30. Yep.
Closer to the 6:30 so that we don't have any penalties or any issues.
Yeah, it just
forthcoming, am I correct?
allows you to have a better gauge of where things might fall, right? Now, I can see a lot of districts may do it, right after the students are out, but there's still bills coming in the door. There's still monies that might be coming in. There's August and September, July and August state aid that comes through the door. And with fund accounting, there's a 60-day rule that is applied, and I think in the past, you guys have seen deferred inflows as an item on the balance sheet that's been shown. So what that means is that at the fund level, you can't recognize monies if you receive it after 60 days from your end. Which, with state aid, it kind of works out because you get that state aid on August 20th, right? But with other things, other federal revenue, other miscellaneous revenue, even if you earned it before 6:30, but you don't receive it until, say, December, you cannot recognize that money at the fund level. So it causes some differences there. So that wasn't the situation this year specifically, but that could happen, where you're like, oh yeah, we got this $1 million, we're fine and good here, but you didn't receive it until after, so now we can't recognize it. So just getting it closer to that 6:30, because it still has to be before that, just allows you to have a better gauge of where everything's going to land by the time you can recognize it all. So hopefully that helps.
Another question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of times superintendents come back and finance team come back in the middle of the year asking for another addendum. So how does that affect us even in the second part of the year? When you keep asking for addendums, whether to do it on the front end and they don't have to come to us on the back end.
Sure. Yeah, so you can do your original budget is typically done right near the end of the year, usually kind of in tandem with that final one, but you can have two amendments throughout the year as well, and then get that final one still at the end point. And you can do some interim budgeting as well, internally along the way, but the official ones that get posted, you can have multiple amendments, if that helps.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay. We'll now go to item number 7, public participation. Can you please read the public participation guidelines, please?
Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comments on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or a school district employee. That disrupts the order of the meeting and are totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under law, defamation, or invasion of privacy, such comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that the comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not be directed at specific personnel or board members.
Are there any members of the public that would like to participate in public participation? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move to item number 8, information items. Any information items? Okay, no?
If I may, just as an FYI for our board and our community, Brandy North, our Executive Director of Communications, did send out a communication earlier with all of our holiday festivities and events, and it would be wonderful. I know probably Trustee Scott gonna be there anyway at Einstein where they shine. But there's a litany of events, and trustee, all of you all show up all the time, which we definitely appreciate seeing your faces. But there's a litany of events at all of our buildings for the holidays and celebration. There's drama plays and holiday programs, the district musical, or excuse me, fine arts presentation on that Thursday. It was listed, I can forward that if you all didn't get it, and then we would love our community to come and see our babies and our children for the holidays.
Thank you. And item number 9, communications. Any communications from the cabinet, from the board?
Basketball season starts this week for Oak Park High School.
Yes.
Try to catch a game.
What day?
I think tomorrow starts their season. I'm not sure if it's home. I know Friday
It's
is
away.
home. Tomorrow's away, Friday is home, I think.
Because girls' first 4 games is away.
Okay.
Their first home game is in January, but I'll get the boys'
I looked
first
it
one.
up, and I think tomorrow is at home. I want to say this week is all at home, Tuesday and Friday. I know Friday's at home. I'm going to try to go. I'm going to
Let me
Friday.
know about tomorrow. I won't be here today.
Okay.
We'll definitely post it on our district Facebook
Yeah,
page so
'cause
that
we
everybody
need
can
to put the
see the
schedule.
schedule.
Okay, any other communications from the board? Trustee Clark?
I didn't get the blurb that I needed to share, but I'll just read the flyer that I have. Oak Park Youth Assistance is collecting for their 2025 holiday gift card drive. The public library will accept gift card donations through the 12th of December. If you would like to help an Oak Park family in need this holiday season, we would greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, please contact Karen Beeler, or if you need some information, you can contact me and I will forward it to the proper person. They're accepting gift cards, toys for tots. I think they're having that at the library as well. So it's a great help. I know a lot of families that reap the benefit of this. I have done it in the past, so it sometimes it can get a little tight around the holidays. So if you are able to share, you are able to donate, you are able to help, it's greatly appreciated. And then it's almost Christmas. I can't believe it's almost 2026. This year flew by. But I appreciate you all. I hope that you have a beautiful and blessed holiday with your families and friends, or however you choose to celebrate. And I hope to see you all at the beginning of the year.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Any other
Merry
communications
Christmas.
from the board? Anybody? Okay, we are now at 10. Item number 10, adjournment. The time is now 8:23. When is the next board meeting?
The next meeting of the Board of Education will be held Monday, January 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the boardroom at the administrative building. Good night and have a wonderful.
Adjourned.
Thank you.